Hello and welcome to Support in the Stands. Today we're doing part 1 of the Champions League Under 16 preview, where we'll be discussing RB Leipzig versus Liverpool and Barcelona versus PSG. Now first, let's start off with RB Leipzig versus Liverpool. In the game where RB Leipzig are coming into this game in much better form than Liverpool. Liverpool have lost 3 games on the bounce at Anfield and have just looked a shadow of the team last season. They absolutely dominated the league. And of course, yes, in Europe they were very much underwhelming, getting knocked out of the Under 16. Overall, that season can be considered nothing but a success, but we've not seen that this year from Liverpool. The actual Liverpool we're used to seeing haven't turned up yet. And that just leads me to think, what is going on there? Is there something going on behind the scenes? Are the players not happy? And what's going on? I mean, that is not something that changes overnight. You have a group of hard-working players who would run through a brick wall for the manager to where they are now. Where, don't get me wrong, at times they've looked good, but the full product has not been there. And they're facing a Leipzig team who have been in good form in the Bundesliga at the minute. They're doing well. In the Champions League, they absolutely robbed Manchester United and chucked them into the Europa League, a place that they seem to be all too familiar with. Now, going into this game, I think Leipzig are going to be feeling quite confident in themselves. They see this Liverpool team and it is a wounded animal. They look very ineffective against Leicester City. They were just, God knows what happened against Manchester City. Alisson Becker, who is rightfully, when he is on his day, the best goalkeeper in the world, has, honest to God, looked like a shadow of Simon Mignolet with his recent performances. So, if you're RB Leipzig, there's no reason why you're not looking at this game and thinking, we can take something from this. But the way Liverpool see it is that the league at this point is non-existent. Okay, the league is too far gone for them to win it. However, they may want to, target Europe. Because the fact is, Liverpool and Europe has been a fantastic combination. I mean, when you think out realistically, these two teams are the polar opposites of each other. RB Leipzig were a team that were founded in 2009, 11 years ago. When Batman Arkham Asylum was coming back out on the Xbox 360. Meanwhile, Liverpool have won 6 Champions Leagues, and who are historically one of the biggest clubs on the planet. So these two teams are very much the polar opposite. It's a very interesting clash, not just in terms of the football, but in terms of the history of the two sides, if you can recall RB Leipzig a history. But in terms of how I think this game is going to go, I'm thinking in Germany, and the fact that Liverpool are not really showing anything, to me personally, that makes me think they're going to do anything, I probably see this as a 1-1 draw. I think the Liverpool defence, actually no, I'm going to make that a 2-2 draw, because I do think Liverpool's attack will come back. I think that Salah, Mane and Firmino will feel like they have a point to prove, and maybe they do. They've simply not been good enough of late. And that's for the Liverpool backline. It's extremely weak. I mean, Jurgen Klopp, surely you have to stop this whole taking 2 centre mids and stuffing them in the back line and thinking that's a centre back pairing. That's not how football works. You've got Ben Davies in from Preston, who's quite a good player. Show some faith in them, put them in there, and I'm not sure, dig through the cupboard if you have to. Find someone who can play centre back and put them in there. Because if you put Fabinho and Henderson at the back again, you're just going to concede goals. It's as simple as that. Jordan Henderson is a fantastic defensive midfielder, and so is Fabinho. But there is a difference between a defensive midfielder and a centre back. So that is what I definitely think Liverpool need to do. And if I'm Leipzig, I'd say do not fear Liverpool, because from what I've seen, there's nothing there to fear. Go at them, put them on the back foot, pressure that defence. Trent Alexander-Arnold, who I think is a brilliant player, has been a bit of a joke this season. And Andy Robertson, though he's been okay, at the end of the day, one man's not going to hold a back four together. And Alisson Becker, I do think he's just going through a bit of a dodgy patch. And I do think he'll come out of this soon. But I've just got a feeling that it might take another few weeks before we really start to see the Alisson Becker that we are all very much familiar with coming back into fruition, coming back to his best. But one point I do want to make is Jurgen Klopp. I just want to put this out there just so no one gets me confused. Should Liverpool sack Klopp? Not a chance in hell. Okay, the man has got a UEFA Cup, you got a UEFA Super Cup, a Club World Cup, the Premier League, the Champions League, every major trophy that has been out there, Liverpool have won it under him. Okay, fact is, this is a dodgy period, and you just got to back the manager. And I know as a Celtic fan, that is a term I've heard far too many times this season. But unlike Lennon, who I'm just going to ignore, that's for another video, Klopp is a good manager, and I believe that he will turn Liverpool around. I do think they'll win some form of silverware this year. Maybe it might be a Champions League, maybe it might be some other... I'm not sure if they're still in the FA Cup, I haven't been keeping up with that, due to the fact that I've been quite ill over the last few weeks. I've not been able to watch much football. But I do think Klopp will continue to bring silverware this year, if not next year. I think this is just a bit of a bad patch. Liverpool come through it. So that's my first prediction. 2 each. Liverpool taking a good result from the away leg. And now we move on to Barcelona versus PSG. And I'm just going to be honest. Yes, Neymar's missing. Yes, he's a big loss for PSG, but in my mind, there's not a single reason I can think of as to why PSG should not be winning against Barcelona. Yes, Barcelona picked up some wins here and there, but they still look like a shadow of the Barcelona I knew growing up. Messi has pulled himself back into it, and I'm happy for him that he's once again found his form. But if you take Mauricio Pochettino and put him against Ronald Koeman, I believe Mauricio Pochettino has only lost one game since he came in as PSG manager. In my opinion, this is just a straightforward game. I'm going to say a 2-0 to PSG, because I'm not convinced with Barcelona. Sure, they've had a bit of a resurgence of late, but I'm not convinced. I think that's me papering over the cracks, and against a good team like PSG, who will attack Barcelona, I think they'll fold. I think they'll lose 2-0 in the home leg, which would be a disastrous result for them, and would really put them on the back foot going to Paris. But then again, with PSG picking up a big win, which many people thought Barcelona could not turn around, only to then do it in a somewhat amazing fashion and an embarrassing fashion from the point of view of PSG. When have we seen that before? Well, of course, if you cast your minds back to 2017, of course, Barcelona got beat 4-0 by PSG, then came back in the second leg to win 6-1. But to be honest, I don't think that's going to be the case here. I think it's going to be 2-0, but PSG should just really walk it. Ronald Koeman to once again be under pressure with his job. And if I'm being completely honest, what I said about Jurgen Klopp is the exact opposite for Ronald Koeman. He's a good manager, but the Barcelona job is just too big for him. Those shoes are very much too big for him to fill. Barcelona need a rebuilding process, and Koeman's not the man to do it. And yes, he is a Barcelona legend. He has scored an unbelievable amount of goals from centre back for Barcelona, and the fans like him. Not so much now as the manager. It's time to move him on. It's time to get some fresh blood in with some new ideas. And to be honest, I think it's time for Barcelona to just let go of Messi. Because the fact is, they need to now get used to life without him. Because Barcelona cannot wheel him out when he's in his 40s, okay? That's just not going to happen. But the Barcelona rebuild is a video for another time. Thank you very much for watching part 1 of the last 16 preview. Tomorrow I'll be making a part 2. But just a quick reminder, Leipzig and Liverpool is going to end as a 2-2. And Barcelona are going to lose 2-0 to PSG at the new camp. Those are my predictions. What are your predictions? Put them in the comment section below. I know many people might be wanting to know when is the next Celtic video coming after the statement made by Mr. Bankia. That is coming soon. Possibly either today or tomorrow. But until then, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe and cheers.